Complexity, who come into this event as the favorites. Johnny has set the tone from the get-go. Doesn't matter who they play against, they expect to win. They see themselves as the team that has to win this event. That is the standard that's been set. Anything less will not be accepted. But boy, have they got a challenge on their hands here up against a heavy-hitting Aurora. And we're going to be sinking our teeth into the first map. Pistol Round is live. Aurora Gaming, they get to choose the sides coming into this map, and they've decided to start on the T side. There's a wealth of utility here for them as well, and they're just setting themselves up for a burst into this B-bomb site.
2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a Molotov. It looks like the execute that already we're going to want to see between these two teams. The burst in for Aurora. Utilities down, Leap is in, and Floppy doesn't want to take the heads-up duel just yet. Grim is there in support, of course, and it's going back and forth. 3v2 for Complexity to start it off, but Floppy will stand tall in E-Box, and that is the bomb lost.
Yeah, game over in the round here. There's no way to recover this for Lackey, and I love the way that Complexity rotates around in towards E-Box, because they know Aurora are going to be dead set on trying to take that control, especially with the set of util that comes through, the smokes that are thrown. It's very obvious that Aurora want to try and take E-Box control before they go for the bomb plant, and they're going to be looking to try and isolate that anchor. But Complexity, the cavalry rotates through and they pad up the defense. They give Floppy some assistance, and it looks really good in the pistol for the CT side.
Very, very clean start for Complexity. It's been a long, long time since they've actually won an event.
They haven't won a LAN trophy before, mate.
Yeah.
Never won a LAN title as this organization.
I believe so. And it was that, I had a little chat between our colleagues, of course, about when that actually was. It was only a big event, but it was online during the online era. So.
Who remembers that, mate? Not
exactly.
me. We wrote that year of 2020. It's like, like the 7th floor of a hotel. It's bad luck. It just doesn't exist. Wiped from our memories. Either way, it would be a massive trophy. And like I said, the table's been set that Complexity expected to win this event, Trav. Absolutely.
A site has been taken, though. Good smoke down toward camera for Aurora, and that trade gives Deco an M4 to work with. So this could spiral for Complexity. Bomb will go down. They've got 1 flash on Aurora, and they don't have any kits on Complexity at the moment, so this could spiral very quickly.
Yeah, they've got to get a move on, man, as they start to make their way forward. Kenzie actually looked like he was trying to adjust something. His hand, if I caught that correctly, was off the mouse for a brief moment as they pushed through. Deco and Norby doing work, though. They both combine. Elige looking to try and recover. Norby is low, but he... yeah, we'll look to try and make a little move around there. Walks into Elige's crosshair. Good composure from Elige, and just looks like a bit of relief there that he's been able to win the round for his team.
Yeah, just his hand gesture there sort of shows relief for Complexity. And yeah, that was a pretty wild one. I mean, as soon as I saw that Deco's M4 hadn't been activated yet, I thought, like, even though Grim got those brilliant 2 kills on the flank quickly, you mentioned the Kenzie adjustment as such. Yeah, I thought Deco had a chance to pounce still off of that MP9 contact, of course, recovered by Norvi, but not to be. Here is this recovery from Grim. Brilliant transfer to Kenzie, actually, pretty much instant. Norvi grabs that MP9 and holds her. He takes the attention away. But Elige dances around the heaven and broken wall area, and Norvi can't gauge the timing.
Just going back to Elige's reaction there, he certainly is one of the players who will always show his emotions, right? He wears his emotions on his sleeve in such a stark contrast to the player who sits next to him, JT. Okay, speaking of emotions, they won't be too happy with the way that things have started out here in the anti-eco. Complexity need to try and make these rounds as clean as possible to build up some money heading into the gun round, but that's not really an option anymore. Now it's just about making sure they get the points on the board.
Yeah. Bit spooky this round now. And of course, to go back to our previous conversation too about how long it's been since Complexity won an event, Elige himself hasn't won an offline event since IM Chicago back in July 2019.
God damn, I mean, who would ever have associated that with a player of Elige's caliber?
And it's crazy as well because he has been the superstar for Complexity, just as Nao said on the desk, just coming up short at the beginning of CS2. So close to breaking that duck.
Yeah, it would have been a massive scalp against FaZe as well.
Of course.
Many would say they should have won that game. They had their chances. Came down to a lack of experience, the lack of awareness there from Floppy as well. Not expecting them to come through cameras, and Aurora are all over Complexity like a rash. This round's done. I don't think that Elige and Holzerk will even have an attempt at the retake here. And this is what you get when you play against a team of Aurora's nature. Such heavy hitters, such skilled individuals that even a round in which they only have upgrade pistols, You can't take it lightly, man. You cannot take that for granted.
What a way for Aurora to get started in this critical semi-final for them. Their land form has always been the biggest question mark. They've made these events. Oh, another one from Deco. That's 3 1-digs in this round. Deco's just going to finish it off and give Elige even more pain.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with their firepower, man.
But yeah, it's their form has been really weird, Aurora. It feels like different days they show up, different days they don't. The consistency they spoke about, of course, on the desk has been very up and down. But yeah, the thing that worried me was the online form coming into this, because online was their home. They won the Sky Sports Masters this year, of course, as well. Qualified for 2 other lands, including this one. I think actually 3 in total, if you include Melbourne too. And online, they really fell off a bit when it came to their form.
Yeah, they've also only played 2 maps in this tournament so far because they won their opening game against Falcons. And then they were able to beat out the Mongols as well. Both games on Nuke, so they haven't really been able to, you know, get a lot of experience on the stage here.
Yeah, that's a big question mark. I mean, when you win just 2 BO1s, both of them on the same map, like, what have you really shown in the event? I mean, other than good form on one home. And, yeah, it does make me concerned for how they'll look in this best of 3. But we do get Nuke, of course, in this series, so yeah, you never know. Anyway, it's a really good start for Aurora to win the round that they did. Looking spicy with the Deagles is a great sign when it will come to their AK form as well, of course. Sometimes that can translate. The force buy for Complexity is rough around the edges. M4, MP9, 2 Deagles, but Hulzerk, they find that 1 M4, and now Aurora will choose to avoid it.
Yeah, Elige is going to recover the AK as well, and it's not like Aurora have been able to activate off the back of losing Lackey in middle either, so Complexity have some time to set themselves up. It's only JT over towards that B bomb site for the moment, but rotation's going to be coming through thick and fast. Do not discount JT with that Desert Eagle. He has got some very good first bullet accuracy, and it's going to be called into the equation as well. 1 frag found from the South African, but immediately dealt with here. Aurora take command and control, and they look like they're on course to level up the scoreline.
Yeah, JT forced forward, and that should be comfortable now for Aurora. Hulzerk will be definitely looking to save the M4 unless he gets a random smoke spam out of nowhere. I was a bit worried for Aurora there for a second. It seemed like when they put their utility down, the Molotovs and the smokes, they weren't really using them. They weren't going into the site with that utility while they were holding Complexity at bay. Actually looks like Complexity are giving this one a go. They had a very deep look, which is a lot deeper than I expected, to be honest. But yeah, it gives Floppy the AK. Hulzerk realizes that, listen, nothing's been given over to us, and now they will commit to it.
Of course, we did see Complexity play on this map yesterday against MIBR. It was the decider of that series. They had a 5-7 CT side, and they were able to win it 13-10 from there. So they know that they've got a reliable T side on this map.
It was certainly shaky, though. I mean, there was a couple of moments that I will always remember.
Woo!
Give it large,
pump there in the crowd. Love that. Let's go, baby.
10 a.m.
That's the energy we want today.
10 a.m. on a Sunday. Let's go, mate.
Yeah, it's Championship Sunday, though. It's different, man. Brings its own set of vibes altogether. But I'm right there with you. It did look scratchy. I mean, Complexity have looked a bit scratchy throughout this event.
It was that one round where they went in toward B against MIBR, and MIBR stacked that 3-player setup, their last 3 players, and it went 4 kills in reverse immediately. And Elige had to hit a spray transfer to win it.
The fact that they recovered that round, though, was still actually an impressive feat in itself. So that would have also just given them a bit of confidence. I do like the initiative being taken here. Hulzerk out of absolutely nowhere just demolishes Aurora. 1 flashbang, multiple players swinging. Bomb's been dropped, and Aurora, they are rattled.
Hang on a moment, though. It is still a full eco other than those weapons, and oh, what a recovery. It's going to be down to Kenzie, though. It is a 1v1, and Floppy does have that AK and Kevlar saved over from the previous round. This is actually, I know it's only 2 rounds apiece, but this is a big round early on.
Yeah.
If Complexity find a way to win an eco, sure, with the 2 saved guns, but if they find a way to win it, then that would set up the CT side a hell of a lot better. Kenzie is convinced he needs to check spawn just in case Floppy could be lurking around. He knows the position he plays in. And with full utility on his belt, He's going to choose to go through T-Spawn, and right now, this is the right decision. But Floppy, he's also taking control and intel elsewhere.
Yeah, he's looking to get some information, not just going to gamble. Sits on a bomb site, and he's starting to figure out that C4's been picked up, and Kenzie has relocated. No audio cues being given away. Very good read coming through from Kenzie. The information will now be gleaned, but Floppy's going to have to bide his time. Bomb plant comes through. At least Floppy does have Kevlar, which does level out the playing field a little bit. Kenzie has absolutely no idea where the fight's going to come through from. Now they know where each other is positioned, and Kenzie will hit the shot there to take Floppy down and save the day for Aurora.
Oh, Floppy had that tiny opportunity as he rounded from camera when Kenzie was jumping up to heaven. If it was a split-second difference, Floppy takes that kill a hell of a lot cleaner. And it doesn't give Kenzie the chance to set up, use the HE, and actually peek with the HE as well to surprise Floppy. Huge one to recover for Kenzie and Aurora.
Yeah, that just saves their blushes against the eco. If you're Complexity, I mean, you're probably a little bit disappointed you didn't win that round considering the triple coming through from Holzerk, but you've got to be happy with the economic damage dealt there. Result. Certainly going to be one of the most important players here. He's been in the best form for Aurora alongside Deco in recent times.
Result does like playing with the camera occasionally, gives us a glance, gives us a stare, but in interviews, very softly spoken.
Doesn't give Mike much, does he?
Doesn't give Mike a hell of a lot, but you know what? It adds to the comedy.
I just think, like, does no one else speak English on the Aurora side? Is it because he's the youngest player? They're just like, mate, you're going to have to do all the interview duties.
I'm convinced Slacky does.
Surely, right? I mean, I know that they have to have, like, a basic level of knowledge, at least somebody else.
I definitely remember interviews.
They just throw Resol to the wolves each time.
Not as bad as when Astralis did. With Stare?
Yeah, but...
It was, right?
Yeah, it was. I think that was just damage control.
Yeah,
they were scared about what might have been said had they sent somebody else. It's kind of similar to cricket. I know this is a very niche reference, but when you have a player who's new to the team, you always put him in the most like dangerous fielding positions that nobody else wants to be in because he can't really say no, like silly mid-off or something like that, where he's standing really close to the batsman with the helmet on. And you can't really say no, can you, when you're the new guy to the team?
Listen, I wish I was a cricket enjoyer, but that is not my field, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, every now and again you throw a snooker reference in there.
That's the thing.
I've got to get one back on you, mate.
I like pretty much every sport but for cricket and rugby, so... Well, I can only apologise.
There's your British pride not really coming through, I suppose. Doesn't drink tea either, guys, so make of that what you will.
Yeah, I have crumpets for breakfast very often.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess that balances it out.
That's always my logic. That's always my my comeback on that one, because crumpets are goated.
Yeah, that is very
But get you started in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just a bit of a tech issue on the server. Of course, not allowed to talk when there's a tech issue, so you got to kind of just sit there and marinate a little bit.
I think it's an FPS problem we've got to fix at the moment. Hopefully not too long. Got a question for you.
Shoot.
You've come all the way from South Africa to be alongside me in this wonderful day in Sweden for the finals day in Jönköping. What do you say is the biggest culture change from South Africa to Sweden?
The thing is that South Africa is so diverse in culture that it's not like it's just one thing that you get used to.
True.
And so you're kind of used to just experiencing many different cultures. I think public transport is probably the one biggest thing. It does not exist in South Africa, at least not in any safe terms. So yeah, that's certainly something I've been enjoying here being in Sweden. People are also a lot less friendly here compared to in South Africa. I think that's probably a better point. Either way, we're back into the thick of things. We're in the action. Result finds an opening kill. Thankfully, there is a second layer in defense for Complexity.
Holzerk tries to timing a shot, but Floppy is still here. Thankfully to Result. Poor Result, he does get his one before he goes down. And this is now a big round for Complexity. If they lose this one and don't save anything, they'll be fully broken, and Complexity will have a chance to build up their money even further than it already is. Kenzie winning that clutch, of course, means that he is the main man rolling in it with 7,300. Presence shown by Deco.
If Aurora win this round, that puts them in a very good position early on. Remember, it's Nuke up next, which is Aurora's pick, and while it's a map that Complexity are pretty happy to play, it's not like it's a happy hunting ground, right? They've won it once out of the past 6 times they've played it. That was against Navi at ESL Pro League, and they've had quite a few one-sided losses since then. So I kind of feel like Complexity need to get across the line here on Anubis to give themselves that map lead going into the second. Either way, job to be done on this B-bomb side. JT, good for damage. Grim will finish off that kill. There is an extra layer of defense on this B-bomb site, not being invoked just yet as Grim's able to lock it down.
He does need to keep it alive because Norby's still here. Now Grim has to fight between two angles. And Deco gets it with the Tech 9. Holzak is super close. And Norby keeps him at bay as well. Aurora are taking the tough rounds early on and putting the pressure on Complexity.
Damn, that was all on Norby there. Really good flank coming through from Temple out of him. Able to just activate at a great timing there. The player in E-Box was the Deco. Just holds his nerve, waits an extra moment for Norby. And as soon as Norby shows his presence, Deco swings out. Great teamwork between the two of them to shatter that defense on the B-bomb side. Complexity reduced to an eco once again. Had a good start by winning the pistol and then against the force as well. They then lost to an eco and things have gone awry since then.
Now they're back on an eco themselves. 5-7s, Deagles, P250. Aurora in control early on. This tournament means so much for them. I picked them as one of my favorites to make it through ESL Challenger League at the end of the season. Made it to the playoff bracket. Form was not good. Had that one more chance, of course, dropping into the last chance qualifier, the closed qualifier. Didn't even make the playoffs of that either. In that BO1 format. The BO1s have gone well for them this time. 2 wins on LAN. And that is exactly what the progress we need to see from this team.
Yeah, having said that though, their best of 3 performances on LAN haven't been great. In fact, I'm not sure that they've beaten any teams that are higher ranked than them in a best of 3 in like the past 6 months. Maybe 9 Pandas at the Paridunov party. That was back in, back in August last year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, so we are looking at them and wondering what sort of form they'll bring to the table here in a best of 3 where there's something on the line.
JT gives it a go, but only the one. Wrestle and Lucky were low, so there could have been a world where Stray Bullet could have caught another, but not to be. And Grim is just looking for a free gun. Anything to keep that cash level a little bit higher. He goes to save it, but he's going to get caught, sadly. Wrestle will swing into that one too. And I love watching Wrestle, and I think you're alongside me on that one. Kenzie and Norby, those two, it was that duo which was so often the dynamic duo for Aurora online. But adding Wrestle to the field, he's honestly been their best player in recent times. Coming from fours, of course. Remember Jerry talking about Wrestle, saying he's one of the most talented aimers I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, that is just one thing that Aurora aren't short of, that's for sure, man. They have got very strong individuals. Imagine Deco starts watching demos on top of his ridiculous individual level. We might just have the best player in the world at that point. It's all about how badly he wants it, Trav. You know, is he comfortable? Is he content with being at this level for the rest of his career? Or does he want more? Does Deco seek greatness? Because if he does, there needs to be some changes. Not just in terms of, not at all in terms of the level he brings to the server, but the demeanor and the work ethic, you know, what he does outside of the server.
Obviously, I think it's very easy to say, have no idea what goes on in his head.
We speculate, though.
We speculate, and, well, there has to be an age in which you grow up at some point, doesn't there? Holzak under a lot of pressure. Oh, look at this push through the smoke from Norby. Somehow he finds Grim, but I think that might be the only take for Aurora. Holzak standing tall, and Wrestle just leaps his way into the angle. That's not going to work for you, son. Deco last alive with that AWP. And it's going to be tough for him to save with a whole minute left, so he might just choose to go for the AK and just try and do damage to that CT economy. That is definitely the better choice at this moment for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you as well. Just looking to try and take down a few players. I mean, the chances of winning the round are incredibly slim, but if he can even just get 2 kills here, that would keep the CT side economy honest. Way more value in him trying to go for some kills here instead of just saving. More than enough money to buy in that next round. And the Incendiary, well, that might lure Complexity into a false sense of security. Considering that they think the corner might be cleared out, Deco now steps, he edges, but there's nothing on offer. Very good discipline coming through from the CT side.
Oh, we've seen Aurora recover some crazy rounds in this game so far. And we've seen Deco give some tough situations a great attempt too in this tournament so far. That 1v5 attempt we saw on Nuke the other day was pretty insane.
Yeah, we just saw the stat line pulled up that he's got the highest rating. Of course, it is just across 2 maps, but he's pitched up here in the tournament already.
And he's a great rifler alongside being a great AWPer. 7 seconds though, and he is going to try and save. Unfortunately, I'm not sure he's going to realize Floppy is right there. I think a few steps would have been heard by Floppy. He'll unscope the AUG. I think unscoping that AUG will have been heard by Deco, and actually they just choose to go for the standoff. Floppy realizes it's critical to stay alive with that AUG.
Yeah, I think if you press tab and you see Deco's the last player left alive, you're probably not going to go hunting. Hunters would turn into the hunted. Either way, Complexity get a vital 3rd round on the board. Their first gun round almost entirely thanks to Holzerk. Great stuff coming through from him. When do we see the change of pace from Complexity? Because they do enjoy getting aggressive on their CT side. When they've got the util, they're happy to go for the crunch in towards Canals, and Holzerk, yeah, he's going to try and take the mantle here in the round, trying to lead by example. Looking for an early frag, yeah, looking to assert his dominance and get himself involved early. Elige also looking for some fights, and that was brave from him.
That was really... Elige is going to be upset by that one because he was pre-aiming that boost for a good few seconds before he then re-swung into the angle, and then that was where the boost was. Norvi just deletes Floppy as well, and JT has to put a few pot shots through that smoke to at least get the trade. However, Aurora, they have the utility to lock Complexity away, and they have a 4v3. Holzerk's going to try and go through it. There's a nade to break it open, but that one could be tasty from Lackey, or it chips 2 of them. JT and Holzerk take a bit of damage to that. And I think Complexity realize that when you're at a man disadvantage, there's only one option.
Yeah, they've accepted their fate. Again, I'd say like 5 is the benchmark here for Complexity. If they can get themselves up to 5 on their CT side, they'll feel like they've done enough. Yet to rarely see Elige get into this all-important semi-final. As you said, he did look like he was prepared for the boost to come through there. Steps out again, and that cost him his life. Oh. Looks like there's a bit of a, yeah, I was going to say an excursion coming through from Kenzie, but Holzerk at least able to find these extra kills and make sure that they keep the 3 guns alive.
Tie confirmed on the half for Aurora. Yes, you do tend to want a bit more than that. If Complexity can get away in this half with even just 4 and a pistol, get them back into the game immediately, especially on that T side, of course. And Complexity, we know they've been a little bit shaky every now and then on this map. There have been some very close games they've played on it recently, but they were unbeaten in the last 5. They expect a Prologue, of course, managing to remove Heroic and Na'Vi even. Beat Eternal Fire at Compass, and of course beat MIBR just yesterday in what was a very entertaining game.
Yeah, of course, MIBR are defending Challenger champions. They've been dethroned, and the throne is now empty. Who will claim it is the question. 4 teams in contention. Norway, oh, good opening kill, and he's able to avoid the trade there as well. Holzerk narrowly missing out. And now there's going to be pressure on the opposite side of the map. Floppy's been dealt with in kind, but at least a kill finally comes back for Complexity, and Holzerk actually peeking through E-Box will take down his opposite number.
.3v3. JT, close mid doors again. Very common position for him. Early game. On the CT side for Complexity, and Lackey is looking to put a stop to him. Norvi hitting another big entry in this game. He's had a number of those already. Current leader, I believe, 11 kills on the board, and now JT is looking like he wants to go searching. What a battle this could be. The doors, oh no. No way. Ah! Okay, we're fine.
All about the timing there. JT is the one who comes out on top. Fortunate timing for him, but Holzerk misses a really key shot there. And that completely opens up this B bomb side. JT and Elige gonna have to combine here to make this 2 versus 2 happen.
And JT, of course, he had a save, of course, from the previous round. He's got 2950 in the bank, and he hadn't bought up a defuse kit. There's probably one on the side here. It might not even matter. But if the time gets low, it could be a problem. Kenzie He goes for a swing, and actually, JT was very, very ready for that. Yep. And Kenzie, he knew he had to take some initiative, some assertiveness, and a 1 versus 2 to try and bring it back to an even standpoint. But JT was just standing tall and was very, very ready.
JT is one of the few players who doesn't get shaken by the occasion. Doesn't matter if you put him in a grand final or an opening match, that's something that's been a hallmark of his career since he came into the top level, is he's really good at just holding his nerve. You know, you never see him getting too high in the intense situations, but in the inverse, when things get really difficult, he actually doesn't drop too low. And that means out of your leader, he exudes an infectious energy to make sure that everybody else also is able to remain stable.
If there's one man I trust, knowing the ins and outs of the JT mental, it would be you.
Yeah, we've spent a good amount of time together. It's very intimidating when you see him on the opposite side there. You know, if you're on stage, he's just icy. That's what you get from him. He's a businessman. Yeah, exactly.
When on the server, the mood changes.
There to get the job done. All right, well, very important round, that complexity win there, just to keep chipping away on the CT side.
And that little mid portion we saw there where Lackey and JT almost bypassed each other. If JT decides to go for aggression in mid and lets Lackey by, that again changes the complexion and the picture of that round entirely. But thankfully, he swapped back on a timing. Just about managed to pull out his gun in time, as of course Lackey didn't know he was still there. And look at that.
Second AWP in play here for Elige. One of the two maps he's spoken about really enjoying that second AWP. The other one is Dust 2, and we've already seen him put it to good use. He's had a fairly tough time of it so far here on Anubis, and Kenzie looking to track and trace Elige down, but Elige very aware of the imminent threat, and he'll just continue to fall back and reposition, leaving no chance for the trade.
Not someone you necessarily think of as being very proficient on a secondary AWP, but Elige is certainly loving it at the moment. As you say, Dust 2 as well, you see it come out a lot, and Elige is looking clean with it, with everything. He's an all-rounder, always has been. It feels like, even though he hasn't gone to the AWP much, he's always been just a brilliant individual. Deco will take a dink, and now Deco could be close to death. Look at this little position on the barrel in Canals, of course. Deco is aware of it. Maybe you heard the silent jump. He tried to quickly. I think JT would have maybe caught the little vision of the body moving forward first. So hard for Deco to react quickly. Barely even saw him, of course. So complexity of building this one back into play, and couldn't even get an even half from this.
That would be such a good return for them here on the CT side, especially considering the way that things had started, finding themselves down 4-2, losing an anti-eco round in that mix. Last round of the first half is upon us, and they're playing up against the Tech 9s. Can Aurora convert them into the Rec 9s?
Looks like we're going for something a little bit speedier for Aurora, and Elige with that secondary AWP is a bit closer, so this could be a bit worrying if he gets overrun by these Tech 9s. I feel actually, I mean, we saw, I'll get back to that point later perhaps, because it's a very interesting point about that secondary AWP. Lots of shadows seen. He realizes he has to hop away very, very quickly. A nade to break up on that smoke, but it doesn't actually give him much vision. He'll take another shot and have to fall away. This is very awkward for Elige now. Thankfully, he's called for that support from Floppy very quickly, and Elige still gets two somehow alongside the Deagle. JT now in the long rotation. Deco and Norvi down pretty low. Incendiary will try and force Deco away from that plot position, as well as even another right-click HE to come through, and it catches Deco even further. Two Tech 9s and a P250 to win in a 3v3. Surely not.
Yeah, surely not, right? There's kits in play, there's utility to work with as well. It's going to be Halswick who goes through first with the Julies. Floppy's been taken down. That will afford Kenzie some positional control. Norvi, rather. Oh. It's actually Deco who's in castle. My goodness, he will be able to find that AK as well. JT to try clutch us out 1 versus 2. Drops the smoke on the bomb. There's no world in which he sticks the defuse. Surely not. Deco, you have to deny, but he can't. And that's the scoreline leveled up. 6 apiece into the second half we go.
hands off of what is mine. Yeah, you know that I win, and I know that you won't. Maybe you should leave this world alone. Yeah, you know that you lose, and you know that I don't. Maybe you should turn around and go back home. Don't say I didn't warn you, but now it's too late to change your mind. I could change up to turn back, let you wish you could turn back time. Say, no, I know that I won, and I know that you won't. I am a legend. Yeah, you know that I win, and you know that you won't. Maybe you should leave this world alone. Yeah, you know that you lose, and you know that I don't. Maybe you should turn around and go back yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard.
A criminally juicy defuse from JT. How on earth he got that one is beyond me. Deco even found the gun and couldn't spray him through it, and it gives Complexity 6 on their CT half, which I think, at least in my eyes, with their T-side form on this map, could and should be enough.
Keyword being should, it should be enough, I reckon. They've shown some great form on their T side, and it's going to be a neat little fake over towards the B bomb side right now. Grim's taking full control. JT's even found a frag as well, and that will indeed draw Deco away from the A bomb side. And smart from Floppy not to fire the shot off there. They don't want to give the information away. Molly's been thrown, and that will lock the CT side of the bomb side. This is such a tough round now because there's so much for Aurora to try to consider. Grim, who was just faking out on that B bomb side, is now in the backlines, and this round is cooked.
This is an absolutely textbook fake. If you want to see what a fake looks like in Counter-Strike, if you're new to the game or maybe even new to the map, well, this is absolutely perfect. They just creep 3 players outside A as the contact is taken elsewhere. And Deco, he's so convinced it's not going to be A, he runs away, doesn't even shift away and try and hide his footsteps. And he just completely gives up the ghost of the site.
He only gets drawn out once a kill comes through, though. I mean, throwing fake util is one part of the fake, but if the guys who are trying to sell the fake even find kills, that is just fantastic. That's where you really win the round. So Complexity, they continue their streak here. Start off the second half in the same fashion that they started the first. They've now won both pistol rounds as they get themselves a lead on their map pick.
Yeah, just the 2 players were enough, and all the kills go their way as well. But for the ones at the end, for Lackey, just for a bit of bonus money. And he'll choose to keep that. I say keep it. He'll choose to spend it on the Deagle, but of course he still has a little bit extra. They're going to have what they want in the next round. Complexity, worried about the force, seemingly. Will go to all 4 Galils alongside the 1 AK.
Yeah, looking forward to the future as well, perhaps.
Yeah, very, very workable on the gun rounds. Galil. People who say that the Galil sucks or it's not better than the FAMAS, skill issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's saying that anymore? Nobody, surely, right? just keep an eye on Complexity. They play a very simple style on the T side here, happy to just play their defaults out more often than not. They've got a very strong, reliable default as well. But they don't have any information here in this round. Now, it is just a toothless stack over towards this B-bomb side. Only 2 upgraded pistols. Grim leads the charge, and looks like there won't be any trouble here clearing up the players stacked up from the CT side. So Complexity, they will breathe a sigh of relief here because that could have gotten a little bit ugly.
No PTSD for Complexity this time. No going into a stack and losing 4 players out of absolutely nowhere. Going against MIBR, that was a spooky one, but this time it's against a proper eco, and Aurora will get their buyout. Wrestle with the A4 alongside Lackey and Norvi as well. Looks like he's decided to swap it over. Give it to Kenzie instead.
This is such a big round for Aurora, man. They're on the unfavored half. They're chasing the game now as well. And if they lose this gun round, then that's going to put them in a disastrous position. So, got to find a way to make this one work. And it's a nice flash play. Restolz actually just flashes himself forward there, as far as I can tell, to get that kill on Hulzerk. At least there's a frag back from JT. Restolz just kept pushing Trav after he found that kill.
Super aggression there from Wrestle, but maybe a little bit overzealous to keep going. And Aurora does feel like on most maps, especially Anubis, if you're in a 4 versus 4, favors the T side slightly.
Absolutely, especially when the pick comes that early in the round, because you know you're going to have forced rotations. Utility incredibly light. You can't even compare the 2 sides of the server. An Incendiary and a Smoke is all Aurora have to work with. Compared to Complexity, they could do whatever they like from here. Molly will force Lackey slightly forward and actually might continue to aggress. Aurora are going to have to go for a gamble here. They can't afford to just sit back idly. They have gone with 2 players over towards B. Lackey still in somewhat of a forward position, not continuing to try get any info though. Complexity, they show their hand.
Pushing in. There's those smokes up, of course, and even to try and break it open to make sure there's no one toward the back of the site. And it's a great clear from Floppy. Kenzie will be removed. There's a lurk in from Norvi. This could still do damage, but it's being stared at by Grim and JT, and now checked properly. Now they can make sure there's another player in position so they don't get picked off one by one. But I say that, Lackey was there very quickly to stop a Leech from being in that position, but Grim, okay. Make that 3 instant headshots. Oh, tasty.
Grim Reaper, baby. That is some fantastic work coming through from him. Headshots across the board. Didn't have any room to work with. Probably felt like he was going to get traded, so he just tries to take the fight to his opponents. And that is a great way to get the first gun round going here for Complexity. The streak continues, Trav. I mean, the scoreline was... Just going back now, looking at the numbers, it was actually 6-3 in favor of Aurora at one point. They have not won a round since then.
Incredible.
6 in a row for Complexity.
Multi-killability for Aurora is certainly something that we've seen a lot of, but on CT Anubis, when you are that man down, it can be so difficult to respond, and that's what you need from them over and over.
Yeah.
When Grim hits shots like this, look at that, the pre-spray on Norvi controls it beautifully, and when Grim is on good form, that is such a good sign for Complexity.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how he's just kind of proactive in that corner. He's not letting them swing him. He's the one taking the fights on his terms. And now, Complexity are in complete control. Need to just tread lightly coming into this next round here, considering that they're playing against an eco round with a bit of an extra investment. Of course, max round loss bonus means upgraded pistols, a scout in the mix as well. Deco yet to pitch up. Had 2 great best of ones against Falcons and the Mongols on Nuke, but hasn't come to the server with that same sort of level here in the semi-final.
Not yet for Aurora, not yet for Deco. Elige is very much in the backline series, all the way through mid, all the way through Temple. He should have a couple of kills for free unless Norvi swings round in a split second. He hears the 5-7 rattling off. How many does Elige get? 1 and 2. Could it be 3? It certainly is. Comfortable for Complexity, and Aurora have ceased to exist in this round.
Yeah, very simple. They didn't have to do anything. They knew Elige was in a fantastic position. They just give him time to activate, and he will complete the round with a quad kill. Double digits now on the board for Complexity. As they go up 10-6, time for a pause here. Let's give Coach Brain an opportunity to just relay some thoughts, because things have certainly gone awry here for Aurora. Was always going to be difficult for them on a map like Anubis. I mean, they've played it a heap of times, 17 times in the past 3 months, one of their more regularly played maps, but not seeing the level they would have hoped for coming into this game.
Oh, Holzerk straight down mid with the combination nade and some team damage in the mix as well there, I believe. And Grim took Deco in the meantime.
Wow.
Kenzie will get traded, and the explosion from Complexity. There's 1 minute 30 on the clock, and they have the site, and Grim even takes Lucky too.
He can't stop fragging. I love the space that Grim's taken there as well. Off the back of getting that kill on Deco, he just leads the charge straight in towards that B bomb site. That's called playing the situation. Sure, there might have been a call there, but Grim realized there was an opportunity to take space. Elige takes the head, and Complexity get themselves 2 rounds away from winning the map.
Oh, they are here to play Complexity. What a recovery after Aurora were in that lead that you mentioned.
6-3.
Incredible. Nothing to speak about since.
Yeah. Shout out to Observer Sladdy P catching all the action right now. He has been the sole observer for the event, so working long days, but he has done a fantastic job.
Everything going right for Grim, holding all the right angles, spraying all the right corners. And he's up to 17 and 12 now for Complexity, leading the way alongside Elige and Holzerk, but that doesn't really matter. It's very plainly a clean team performance from Complexity, especially on this T-half. Floppy! Oh, Wrestle's going to be so mad about that. He's running while full blind. He's full strafing and hits a random headshot.
Well, our questions about Aurora's form on LAN, particularly in best of threes, have not been answered, Trav. Or maybe they have been, and it's the answer we weren't hoping for.
Maybe. Best of ones can occasionally change things. Aurora looking good in those, but best of threes could be an entirely different matter. But of course, this is the first map where we would favor Complexity overall. So I'm not going to rule them out of it yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big Aurora enjoyer. We both are, after covering them so much, of course, online.
And we're expecting a lot more out of them on Nuke.
Hang on.
Even Inferno is the decider. Yeah, numbers towards the A bomb site proving to be a bit difficult for Complexity to get past initially, but they will make sure that they get across the line. And that's them now getting up to map point here in this first semi-final.
I saw Deco get those 2-1 digs, and the fact there was another player behind the cake on the site, I thought maybe they could play in tandem to perhaps get some more damage done. But once again, it's Grim with the multi-kill. Is that 4 on the second half already?
Yeah.
More?
Probably not more, but certainly in that vicinity.
Oh, it's nice shots from Deco, but it might not be enough in this one.
12-6. Complexity now on a 9-round win streak, and Deco looking to try and assert himself at the start of the round, but Elige clears out the smoke off the back of a nade, and he just finds the AWP out in the open, pants down, and dead.
Aye. Nothing going for Aurora on the CT side at all. What a sweep this is going to be for Complexity. They can finish it off here and now. Norvi and Kenzie right next to each other. The duo, but Elige with a boost above the smoke. Norvi doesn't know what's hit him. 5 versus 3, still a minute on the clock. Complexity will feel so comfortable in this position. Kenzie will try his best, but it's only 1. Another super solid trade from Elige. He's got 3 in this round. Floppy will find Wrestle, and it's all down to Lackey. And he hasn't got much say in this one, I don't think. He'll miss the shot, and JT will take it. It's game set, but not match for Complexity. But I've got to say, that was impressive.
Yeah, so much momentum, and once they got the ball rolling, it was impossible for Aurora to stop them. Complexity looking very good here on their map pick. As you say, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves because it is Nuke up next, which is a very good map for Aurora, but they're going to have to make it work here. They have done their homework. They have the luxury of starting on the CT side here as well. Smoke flash, Julie's in play, and Aurora already found an opening kill. Trade comes through, double down from Holzerk, but there are so many bodies littering the floor.
That was really nice from Holzerk. Nice little setup from Aurora as well, having one player on the corner of the box and one player behind him. So they have a little bit of a double setup, but unfortunately that might be the only good thing to come from this round for Aurora. Kenzie and Deco get the only 2 kills. Norvi has got his utility, but unfortunately doesn't really have a place to use it anymore.
Yeah, plenty time. Bomb on his back, utility in the pocket, but how on earth does he make this round work? 1 versus 3. Complexity on course to lock in their 3rd pistol round. They won both pistol rounds on Anubis, and it looks like they're going to open up here Nuke with 1 as well.
Small detail, but I'd like to see Norvi actually try and use his utility, and now obviously he can't. But I would have liked to see him use it, of course, because then it's not a free piece of util that
gives up the molly
by the CT side, of course, and that molly is a little bit better than the incendiary these days, of course, even better than it was before. So important thing to note, but Norvi will get deleted. Nice angles being held, and 2 really important taps from Hulzuk again. He has kind of been keeping Deco and quite a lot of Aurora in his pocket in this game, it feels like. Only a couple of misses I can really remember, and then didn't really change the round.
Yeah, very clean headshots coming through from Complexity in that pistol round to set things in motion. No bomb plant for Aurora, but they're still going to go for the force buy here anyway. Seen them do damage in these sorts of rounds already in the series. Remember, Aurora, I'm just going to keep in the back of my mind that they were winning 6-3 on Anubis. They then lost 10 rounds in a row. Map finished 13-6. How long does that streak get kept up for before Aurora can finally win a round back here in the semi-final?
Poppy lines up the org. Significant investment in the 2nd round, that's for sure. It will be lost, but of course now it will be recovered. It's only Deco with that scout and that Kevlar and that Deagle.
What does an org set you back these days? 3,100?
33, I believe.
3,300? Yeah, that makes more sense, I suppose.
Not what it once was in 2019 when the Org and Krieg used to run riots. That Krieg fire rate used to be terrifying.
Yeah, thank the Lord for that.
What an era that was, in the worst way possible.
It was an era of all time.
Well, at least it meant that it made me better, because
it made the game a bit easier.
Because it made the game easier. Down to the left spray with the Krieg, easiest thing on Counter-Strike history.
It certainly did reduce the skill gap within the scene.
But yeah, now the Org is viable, but not used as much. I feel like the Krieg is pretty much only when AWPers don't have enough money for an AWP and they want something with a scope.
Yeah, we saw Floppy bring it out on Anubis as well. Either way, Deco, beautiful D shot coming through from him. He's taken down Grim as well. Okay, Deco.
He's full health.
He can't win the round from here. There just isn't enough time. He's going to run straight into Elige. He can just get the kill and breathe a sigh of relief as a result. But that is what we're looking for out of Deco.
That's a second that you had an inkling that the last player was down toward B. That's why I sort of chimed in and said he's full health and maybe had a chance to deliver. But I tell you what, damage is superb there from Deco.
Yeah, a bit of a wry smile from Johnny, just thinking, all right, that guy is pretty damn good with the Desert Eagle. You give him a millimeter, he can take a mile, even on the move there. That's why JT has that smile, and Hulzuk's like, yeah, that guy, he's cracked. Either way, 2-0. Eco round now for Aurora. Complexity continue their start here. And now they need to keep numbers alive, Trav, because they've got no spare money in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, it sets up Aurora pretty nicely. Like, this round, obviously, if they do win it cleanly, it's going to be good for Complexity. But Aurora, when they get their full gun round going, they'll know they've limited Complexity and may only be that gun round that's enough to break them. A couple of kills would be nice as well. Grim very aware of the possibility that Lackey could have pushed through ramp already. There is the intel, and there is Deco spotted out.
Go on, lad.
Do it again, Deco.
Do the thing. On demand, mate.
On demand.
All right, well, he'll go down to Elige. Nice multi-kill coming through from the Legend. And it is going to be 3-0 here for Complexity. Good start to their opponent's map pick. How far can they take this? They've had a very lackluster CT side in recent times. Past 3 months, they have only a 40% win rate on their CT side.
That is a bit worrying for Complexity, for sure. Yeah, the results haven't exactly been close either in a lot of the games they've played. Of course, they won against FaZe at the Major, if you remember. Lost that one 13-6. Played Heroic in Pro League 13-5. They did get that great win against Navi, of course. Then Maus a couple of times, and of course, BetBoom recently too. Didn't get double digits in any of those losses.
Concerning. But those results are in the past.
And this is the present. And it's a different level of opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. Aurora need to find their footing here in the semi-final once again. Kind of gone off the boil. Will at least be able to force Floppy backwards, so they'll gain some map control as a result of the util usage. But the question is, where do they go from here?
Yeah, that's annoying for Floppy. He's on a nice angle there. And as soon as he goes for a swing, when he thinks it's a good time to do it, when they're in the midst of throwing utility, can't get much damage at all. Has to hop back down again, give up control. Back in towards lobby for Aurora. 40 seconds left in this round. Hulzuk holding that tight angle on the rafters past the site silos. Wrestle and Deco hand in hand, with Kenzie ready to pounce from outside at any given moment. JT only has that MP9 on top of Hut, but it's a great position for it. 25 seconds, Aurora have to go. Kenzie can try and team up, but Grim saves his teammate at the last possible second. Now Aurora, they're kind of stacked on top of each other here.
Look at the time.
They've been completely stalled with 14 seconds left on the clock. Hulzuk is still here. Great headshot from Lackey, but Hulzuk's doing such great work. 1v1, and Elige recovers it at the last second.
Aurora waited as long as they possibly could for the Heaven player to activate, but that ends up kind of working against them. It gives Grim some time to slightly reposition and gives time for the rotations to come through from Complexity, which actually make the difference at the end of the day. Having that extra player there meant they could have some more firepower to trade with, and that's how they end up with the win.
Aurora will know they're so close to getting an easy run, in inverted commas, on this T-half. It's another round where Complexity have won it with just one player alive. Elige having to recover again. That's another big clutch in this tournament from him.
They won't care how they come, man. Points on the board is all that they
would
be concerned about. 4-0. No bomb plant here for Aurora either, so I think it's going to have to be a half buy. They might be coerced into going for the force because of the economic damage that they've dealt, but I don't think that's a great idea. You can see the emotion there coming through from Grim. He's feeling it, man. He was fantastic on Anubis. So many multi-kills from him, particularly in that second half.
And when Grim is on that sort of form, he looks cerebral with those sprays. It looks like he can never miss.
He's always been one of those players touted with some ridiculous individual ability, right? Mechanical ability through the roof. Just about bringing it when it matters the most, and boy, has he pitched up here in the semi-final. Elige was slow to start on Anubis as well, got better as the map went on, but he's had no trouble getting going here on Nuke. Woo! Not the first time Hulzuk's had his bell rung by Deco with the Deeg.
Aye, aye, aye. Another clean one from Deco. Floppy trying to burst down at mid-range. Lackey finds the gun, but will swap it over, and Floppy gets caught out toward hell as well. There goes Elige, and of course, that's just Counter-Strike for you, isn't it? On the most unlikely round, it looks like Aurora are going to find a way to win, but hang on a moment, bomb has been dropped by Grim, and we know how good he has been. Look how low Lackey is. It's a third for Grim. Bomb on the floor again. Aurora going one by one, waiting for the Heaven presence, but going too early.
Yeah, Lackey way too ahead of his teammates there, trying to find that trade on Grim, but ends up offering his life up as a result, and JT has a very good idea of where further pressure could be coming through from Aurora. They have to recover the bomb as Complexity look to recover the round. A 5 versus 2 turn 2v2, and actually very even in terms of the numbers in HP.
25 seconds. Wrestle is going to be left on Heaven, and Norvi's going for the outside mini lurk instead to try and grab that bomb a little bit faster, of course. 16 seconds now. It really is ticking, and there goes Wrestle. I really think Norvi was just not close enough for that. He may get the kill, he may pick up the bomb, but JT, we know he's low. His timing might be pretty good, or Norvi just gets to a safe plant behind the site silos, and now he has a slight advantage against JT being so low, and Norvi finds it. Huge round for Aurora. Grim tried his best, but not this time.
Quad kill coming through from Grim. Efforts in vain. JT was a little bit worried that they try and make their way through secret in towards that B bomb site, or maybe try and make their way up the vent, who knows, but unfortunately isn't able to win the 1v1. IGL versus IGL goes the Russians' way, and that finally gets around on the board here for Aurora as they break that very long streak of Complexity winning rounds, and not just referring to Nuke, but from the end of Anubis added into Nuke here as well.
Very good point. Maybe a chance to build now. He mentioned those close rounds for Complexity. As you say, it's important to get points on the board, however they may come. But now they're down to 2 MP9s, a Deagle, and just the 2 M4s. Aurora are at full strength with Deco on the AWP now.
They have to win this round though, Trav. No two ways about it. Aurora have to win this round here to get things really going. And they found a big opening kill. They've taken down that crown jewel of Grim.
Wrestle's already in a very powerful position as well. Through ramp, he's going to be up to heaven. And I don't think anyone on the A site is going to realize that. Wrestle calmly taps away at the first, and now JT, well, he's more stuck than a stuck thing in Hut, and he'll be removed. This is going to be comfortable for Aurora, exactly what they needed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is going to restore some confidence for them, something that'd certainly be lacking at this point. Floppy and Elige just going to carry their weapons through into the next. It'll have to be an eco round for Complexity. And this is where we could see the deficiencies on the CT side start to become exposed for Cole. Floppy gets a kill back. He's just going to be hoping to try and upgrade his gun here. And he's taken Deco down too. Aurora going to put some stock in trying to deny these guns being saved. If there was a Kitcher for Complexity, that might have turned things on its head a little bit. Elige is actually charging in towards the bomb site, but Lackey, oh, okay, restores calm. Double kill on the spray down. I think Cole was just looking for a gun or some extra kills. All of a sudden, they found a way back into the retake, but swiftly denied by Lackey.
Yeah, they had about 10 or 15 seconds to perhaps find one more kill.
Yeah, it would have been close.
Yeah, and it might be a weird situation where it comes back to bite them. They get urged to push forward, knowing it's actually an opportunity, and maybe that hurts them long term, not having the saved guns in the next. Who knows? Full eco. JT has a smoke for some reason. Not sure what that's going to do in this round, but see what Floppy can do. Hit some dinks with the USP alongside Holzerk. Something. And Aurora need to be careful to not go alone in these situations, especially when that flash comes through. Well done from Elige, but now we've got some comfort. Floppy and JT will remain. Make that just Floppy, and that flop will be stopped this time.
Yeah, not a bad return though. 2 kills coming through from Cole and their full eco. Floppy's got enough cash here to drop an AWP across to Holzerk as well. And there we go. AWP will be purchased up.
So important for Complexity to find the victory in this game. We've mentioned how important it is for Aurora. It's probably their last chance to make Pro League. If they make the final and they go up against Falcons, they'll have to beat Falcons. If they go up against Ents, Ents, of course, are a partner team. So Aurora should get the slot.
As for Complexity, it's not about trying to qualify for Pro League. It's about setting the standard of a team who consider themselves as a Tier 1 level, and they need to put up trophies to prove that.
Exactly that. Compass, of course, was a wash when they would have thought at least playoffs was a possibility. Not making the stage at Dallas either. Absolutely. Probably the biggest disappointment of the year, probably, at their home event. Complexity need to stay stock solid and beat the teams they should to win events like this. Obviously, as the highest ranked team in this event, you would probably call them as favourites against whoever they play in the final as well.
That's how they see themselves. Holzerk, though, already been dropped, looking to try and make a play in towards ramp here. Floppy is still in tow to recover the gun, but that's another opening frag coming through from Deco. He's already had a couple here on this T side.
Deco is loving Nuke in this event, and so are Aurora, of course. This is the map where they won their 2 best of ones on. Bit of a Nuke merchant at the moment, our Aurora. Especially if they can find a way to take this one.
Yeah.
Deco once again finding great openings, like you've said. Up to 8 kills already. And against this buy for Complexity, they've got the utility advantage as well. Floppy's recovered the AWP. Elige has got the nice off angle toward the back of Garage. But Aurora staying patient.
Yeah, I love the patience on display from them right now. They've got that opening kill. They're waiting to see if there's going to be any re-aggression coming through from the CT side. Any gambles from Complexity to try and bring the numbers back into even keel. And as the time ticks down, they've got to start to make a move. Now, I think it's going to be a fake into the upper bomb site and then ramp control taken. Or they might even try go down the venture. Plenty options available for Aurora. JT's going to be that first point of contention. And he takes down Result coming through the door. JT has to double down, and he does. More work to be done from the IGL, unfortunately. Runs out of bullets, but they haven't run out of numbers. 2 versus 2. Not much time left remaining. Shots being missed across the board. Floppy with the AWP will eventually go down. Deco starts the round and finishes it as well.
Oh, Floppy does amazing work with the AWP there. Dropping down from heaven with his teammate at exactly the same time. It looked so awkward. It looked like they just line up. But I really appreciate Complexity's aggression to go for that, not letting Aurora get set up, maybe thinking that's their only opportunity to recover the round in the end. And Deco had to go to the sidearm to finally get it done. Entertaining one.
Yeah, absolutely. Deco's bringing the fire to the server now. He's pitched up, man. Double digits already in the first 8 rounds of the map. Seen him have some great performances on Nuke at this event already. Highest rated player coming into this matchup. 1.59 rating across those 2 maps. And he's putting up the numbers once again for his team. Aurora in pursuit of that 3rd map. They want to see the likes of Inferno, the classic decider in Counter-Strike history.
JT may find one, but should just be a consolation. Deco will safely recover the bomb. It's always pretty fascinating for us, of course, seeing the player cams and seeing Deco, seeing the lack of communication, I think it's fair to say. But I think the most impressive thing for Aurora is that despite the personality of Deco, to put it lightly, they make things work very often, but maybe that's one of the main causes why their form is incredibly up and down.
Yeah, could be. It is just speculation, of course. It's all we can do from the outside of the server.
Yeah, we're not in the team speak. But there's evidence, let's say that.
Yeah, there is. There's conversations that have gone around as well. Reputation is always something that will get out there eventually. Either way, the one thing that is not questionable is his individual level. One of the best AWPers out there, that's for sure.
And that's why we love him. I mean, he's unique, that's for sure. Been touted for many an upgrade in the past, of course. Remember when we did many of his games when he was on 1 win?
Yeah.
Alongside Travis.
That was on the come-up, yeah, exactly. That was when he was on the come-up. A name that many people weren't familiar with. I remember doing a tweet towards the end of 2022, I think, and Deco was one of the players I touted as, you know, making it towards the top of the scene, and he has had a very good trajectory.
Yeah, if you look at his stats toward the end of 1 win, they are just absolutely ridiculous. Because I think obviously being led by Boomich at that point as well for a little bit. It was unbelievable.
All right, well, Complexity have now lost 5 rounds in a row. And the CT side has turned into a tumultuous one for them. Can they get things back on track is the question. Winning this round would go a long way in making that happen. And finally, Holzerk has been able to affect the kill feed, at least in terms of his AWP. He's gotten 9 kills, which has been decent, but hasn't had much fortune with the AWP in these past few rounds.
Important 5v3 for Complexity. And one thing I need to give Aurora props on is that Kenzie is such a critical player on this map for them. He controls outside on both T and CT.
Yeah.
On T side, being that controller is so important. Stopped immediately at the beginning of this round and stopped most rounds in this one so far as well. Only 2 and 9. The step up from him on CT side has to be big. But as I said, at least it's a good sign that Aurora are in this game kind of without him at the moment.
I feel like the outside really suits his playstyle as well. There's so many different gunfights. You can change up the pace. You can look to get aggressive. He's always happy to push through a smoke. Either way, Deco just opens up the window and he opens up hell. He condemns Holzerk 6 foot under. And this round has been flipped on its head all of a sudden. 3 versus 2. Aurora have the advantage. JT will bring it back into an even numbers game. And Lackey is low. JT ready for it. Drops the bomb. Massive recovery coming through from the IGL.
Deco in a 1 versus 2 though.
No chance.
Problem is the bomb is so far away. He knows he has to hold W for this with either the Tech 9 or the AWP. Wallbangs maybe the only option. With that incendiary actually blocking off that path to the bomb. It's a really smart piece of util for Malige. And that could be something to antagonize him a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. No question in my mind. Thing is, Deco is one of those players where if he does get the fire going inside of him, he can be very difficult to stop. So it goes one of 2 ways, man.
Rough end to that round for Aurora. They did so well to recover it. Lackey won his duel toward ramp, but got dinked in the process. And then he has to try and trade JT. You're going to see it here. This frag. And that one, unfortunately, that's one of the biggest shadow advantages for a CT in the game right now. And Lackey being as low as he was never winning that duel.
It was a good reposition from JT, good awareness as well. Just keeping himself covered from heaven, locking it down outside. Scoreline leveled up. Holzerk again finds another opening kill on Kenzie through the smoke as well. So he's certainly got Kenzie's number at the moment.
Yeah, twice in a row through that smoke too. Lackey again wins his duel toward ramp, and Aurora trying to pounce off the back of it. It's a nice HE from Holzerk, but in the end a little bit deep. And Deco has taken JT on some aggression in the meantime. Elige, a lot of map control outside. And Grim is already down the vents. Holzerk, I was going to say, that's a bit dangerous, making your way up toward heaven that slowly. He'll get caught. And lucky not to go down. 3 versus 3. Grim toward glass. Ready if Aurora push through. Smoke toward double door. With that smoke being in that position, probably will make the doors open inward. And Deco, again, he's found a pick mid-round to 14-7. It's his counterpart Holzerk to drop. Bomb plant will come through, and Elige, when does he pounce? Norvi, what a bit of positioning that was, just to catch Elige before he makes his way out to do some damage.
Yeah, that's an opening kill that came through from Holzerk, and it won't result in a round win for Complexity, which is a problem. Have to be converting these sorts of rounds. Aurora will guarantee themselves a level scoreline going into their CT sides. They'll be very happy with their return from the T side.
This is an impressive half from Aurora. Complexity 4-0 up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was indeed. Seeing the amount of work that Deco's done here on the T side of the AWP might get a few people thinking about, the fact that they haven't really been playing with the AWP too regularly, not just on the T side in general, but especially on the T side of Nuke. Doesn't really get the AWP's juices flowing when you start on the T side, but Deco has been able to find some fantastic impact. Some unconventional pushes. He's sometimes just by himself on the flank, jumping into hell through the window, but he's never afraid of a little shotgun AWPing his Deco. And he's put it to fantastic use here on this T side so far.
There was the catch from Deco. Holzerk went back up heaven, then came back down again, thinking that they were trying to take control of that lower site in the midst of it, at least. And now Complexity on the final round of this half. The buy's okay, but JT only has that auto shotty, but it's okay. That is the best gun in the game, of course. And look where Elige is. He could be about to do some work, but Lackey. And how has Holzerk not got that trade through the smoke? Kenzie, he gets some revenge finally.
Finally gets one back. He deserved it, mate. I thought for a moment that Holzerk might kill Kenzie through the smoke in 3 rounds. Or 3 rounds in a row. Either way, not going to happen. 5 versus 3 now. Really difficult for Complexity to try to recover from here. Couple low HP players on the opposite side of the server, but still have their work cut out for them, man. A lot of time here for Aurora to work their way through. JT, though, has taken down both of those low HP players. And that will force Aurora to redirect.
And he's got the bomb under his control as well. I'm not sure he can push up far enough to pick up one of the upgrades on the floor in front of him, though. So he might just be forced to sticking around with that XM, but it might not matter when Grim is still dealing damage. There goes Norvi. 40 seconds, 2v2. Grim does not expect the late player wrestle, though, but now they've got to get past the leader of Complexity with that auto shotgun. The smoke will smack him on the chest. He tries to go for a swing with it, but it's so difficult with this weaponry. Deco and Wrestle now together. They swap to a rifle to make it easier, but JT's found it through the smoke as well. Thankfully for Wrestle, that smoke they threw in toward him can stop them from running away. He's going to get caught with his gun out. Wrestle just recovers it in time. Massive grin from JT. What an attempt, but not to be. 7 on the half.
I came in the league, went straight for the title. No time to idle. I'm finna get it, put that on a Bible. This is survival. Gotta treat every movement like the final. One by a mile. Nobody believe it, they all in denial. Hey, look at me, look at me. Still in the show, that's the crook in me. They want me gone with the hook in me. Asking why is he here like I shouldn't be. I've been on grind since I old. 10,000 hours the motto. They see the bag is coming out and flocking to me like I won the lotto. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the crash, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Get it, don't mind sin. Hey, back with a vengeance. the business. Hey, God is my witness, they watching my moves like shows, they binging. Hey, best keep distance, all of my haters send best of wishes. I get to the bag with the quickness, no, I don't need no assistance, no. Yeah, no playing it safe. I said let's get it, you say not today. What can I say? If you ain't gon' go for it, get out the way. Yeah, got no time to waste. Can't be with me if you're not at my pace. You're not at my level, you're not in my race. One foot on the gas, I'm pushing on the brakes. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Yeah, I gotta get it. Get it, don't mind it. I gotta get it, don't mind it. I gotta get it, don't mind it.
Ask if we could talk, but then say nothing. Maybe you just had too much to say. 'Cause when you call me up, you just want one thing. And maybe in the end you'll get your way. But I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. If we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show ya I do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah.
Aurora wins 7 of the 8 of the last rounds in that first half to get themselves a favorable scoreline going into their CT side. They're in complete control of their map pick. The question is, can they finish off the job from here?
Wrestle prepared on the side of the hut. Kenzie outside as well. Oh, he picks into 3, and of course, Elige has that P250. We always mention it so often, the AWPer that has the P250 on the pistol rounds, but Elige, there's maybe a secondary AWPer these days as well. Will try and deliver that. He manages to get himself his 1. Wrestle only gets his 1 too. I have to be down to Norvi. I think he's been spotted toward heaven as well. Elige is in that perfect position with that P250. Deco on the flank, tight angle, and Lackey has taken JT comfortably. Deco might have really good timing on this one now. 1 tap. Oh, and the spray gets it in the end. Very, very quick recovery from Aurora. Plot for Complexity, but that's all.
Yeah, all those kills come in such quick succession. I reckon Complexity were feeling very happy with the position they'd been able to get themselves in. It was a good strat coming through from them. Outside pressure early, get the kill, then burst through the squeaky door to get onto the A bomb site. But Deco's flank from ramp ends up being enough to unlock that bomb site, and the retake is very successful from Aurora.
Of course, you remember how the end of the first half came through on Anubis with that JT smoke diffuse.
Yeah, true.
And, well, he almost did it again in the last one of this half.
Yeah, Smoke Criminal.
Smoke Criminal with the XM.
North America's new Smoke Criminal, man.
Truly incredible how he managed to get so much work done from that position, and he had the opportunity while Wrestle didn't have his gun drawn. Oh, I was feeling one of the players of the tournament from JT, but just not to be at the end.
At least Aurora have finally been able to win a pistol round here in the semi-final, something that's been quite difficult for them to come by so far. 1 out of 4 for them, but that one was very important to set things in motion, and now they have to deal with the force buy.
That's going to be really frustrating for Elige. He's taking control outside just like he did with the P250. Tries it with the AK, only gets damage on toward Kenzie, and this force buy is looking too strong. Deco can put himself in a cheeky position here, very often unchecked, but players need to go his way first. They will absolutely now, and it will go unchecked. It's going to be 2, could even be 3. Oh, it may as well have been 3 because Wrestle was there to help instantly. And Aurora, that's a big step in toward taking their map pick.
I mean, some would say the job's as good as done now. It's just about polishing off the fine silver. 9 rounds to the 5 of Complexity. Next one's going to be an eco round for the for the T side as well. Result, go on, Kenzie, there we go. Yeah, eventually we'll connect.
It's fine. They've been connecting on the server. That's all that matters.
Kenzie a bit less than this map, but that's okay.
That's fine. Wrestle has.
Like I said, the numbers on the top of the scoreboard, that's all that matters, man. I know what it feels like, Wrestle. Trav does it to me all the time.
What the hell? He's just gurning at me right now. You guys can't see that, but it's the cheekiest grin of all time.
Yeah. You know how it is.
This could be a cheeky round.
Yummy.
What a shot from Hulzerk on Kenzie. Not like this, Aurora. Bit of aggression to counteract the play from Complexity, but Elijah's got 1-2. He's picked up the M4. There's Floppy's 1 dig. Suddenly it's down to Deco.
They don't have to continue to take the fights here. They know that Deco's towards hell. They can just get themselves in towards the bomb site. Could even try and go down the vent. Deco, he's doing damage, but Floppy's gotten the kill. And Complexity, that is a massive reprieve for them. Able to win the eco. That could be the key to get themselves back into the map.
That is a robbery of the highest degree from Complexity. One of the unlosable rounds, it feels like, for Aurora.
Yeah.
Someone call 911.
That's exactly how they felt, though. Just like, oh, let's take the gunfights. Let's get the kills. All of a sudden, a kill comes through, another one after that, and things just snowball out of control. Brilliant adjustment. I still thought Deco was on course for the 1v2, but Complexity have gotten themselves a lifeline. Oh, my goodness. The fights towards outside just continue to break out very early on in the round.
We're all experts after the event. I kind of agreed with Aurora's decision to go aggressive against the pistols to try and regain control, because then they would have given up everything to Complexity outside. But in the end, maybe that was the wrong call. Getting deleted as they did. Oof. Lucky, we saw that from Norby's POV. That's a great bit of aggression toward Floppy, caught between 2 angles. And Kenzie has found Elige as well. We said that we needed to see Kenzie step up on the CT side. After having a slow T side, he is one of the most important players for Aurora on this map, owning outside.
Oh, mate, Aurora so well poised to deal with what's coming their way. JT will eat that grenade for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and Deco will be continuing to take the attention away from his teammate Result, who can activate with the 5-7, and that is the worst possible follow-up for Complexity. After winning an eco, they lose against the Force Spy, and they don't even get a single kill.
Swings and roundabouts, back and forth. What an incredible streak of 2 rounds from these two teams. Complexity knew that was a lifeline they had been given, and they couldn't take it in the following. Now look what they've got.
Not much.
Again, that one hero AK. Deco has taken the Krieg over from the T side. We can assure you it's not 2019. But that could certainly be handy for him as the Orpa with that scope.
Yeah, he continues with his strong performance here on Nuke. He's got a 2-kill death ratio at the moment, averaging more than a frag around.
No.
Is this going to be the theme of the second half? Could we continue to trade rounds back and forth here? Complexity would certainly hope so. Man advantage for them, and they've been able to get some good control, but it doesn't look like they're so confident to push into that B bomb site. And, oh, Kenzie, he's closing the door in on them right now. Aurora have a lot of information, and they will start to head in towards that B bomb site to try and make the retake happen.
Kenzie, good catch on Elige. That HE could be pretty tasty as well. Oh, just moved away from it in time, Floppy. And there's a player, of course, in Grim behind the site silo on the rafters, so that could be very dangerous. Good reaction from Kenzie, though. Hulzerk goes aggressive, gets taken down. Could be down to Grim, but no armor is the biggest issue, and you can see the aim punch.
He wins these.
Floppy, 9 HP with a Glock. And yeah, I get the impression there may have been a slight piece of sarcasm in that.
Just a tad. Either way, that is going to be an 11th round. Actually, was Kenzie sticking the defuse there? He didn't have the kit, but I guess he knew it was safe.
Yeah.
Gets a bit close at the end, but no problem. 11th round on the board, at least for Cole. There's a bomb plant and a bit of damage, but it is now do or die on Nuke. We could actually see both teams winning their own map picks very comfortably here in the first semi-final.
Yeah. Aurora don't go as aggressive this time. They wait to team up together. They take a sensible pill. And it's been effective pretty quickly. Shake of the head from Hulzerk. He knows this map is now getting away from them. And another Nuke that's getting away from them as well. If they are to lose Nuke without getting 10 rounds on the board, that'll be another one to add to the list of recent losses on this map. Of course, they managed to find a way to beat Navi at Pro League, but 13-8, 13-6, 13-9, 13-5, 13-6, all losses.
Yeah, against favorites, I'd say, on the map, right? Bar Bet Boom, all games they would have had a tough time on.
Like Heroic's probably one they should have taken a lot closer than that as well.
True. I feel like the one map that Hero did still have in their wheelhouse at that point was Nuke, but either way. 11-6, do or die now for Complexity. 13-6 was the scoreline on Anubis in favor of Cole. Could be getting a dish of revenge being served back here in return.
Seems to be a bit of a problem in their pool, does Nuke.
They've got a few deficiencies in their veto in their map pool at the moment, do Complexity. A few places they can be exposed. I feel like Nuke and Ancient are probably the two most prevalent.
And even the Decider in Inferno as well is looking a bit rough for them in recent times. I really would not put this series past Aurora. Wrestle, top of the A-site silos, waiting to see legs, but he'll drop down. The HE will be perfect instead. Chunks Grim down. Look at this. Wrestle and Norvi. They're going to have Kenzie swinging for Mini as well to help out if they do go toward A. It should be an absolute massacre for Aurora.
Oh, man. That is such a nice 1, 2, 3, 4 punch coming through from Aurora, just pinging contact off of one another. Result and Norway working in conjunction. Norway on the hut. He gets that first kill, takes the attention from the rest of the door players on top of hut. That's when his teammate then steps out, able to find himself a kill, and it is just lambs to the slaughter. Aurora get themselves up to map point, and there won't be much money here for Complexity to work with either.
Double the score for Aurora. It's a long, long way back. And this is what we wanted to see from them.
The only round Complexity of one on this T side so far was an eco, mate.
Indeed.
That's not a good look. From leading the map 4-0 at one point, they've won just 2 rounds since then, and one of them was an eco. They have lost 12 of the past 14. Me and the stats guy are on the same page, Trav.
Is that Mr. Elliott or Newt? I've shouted you both out anyway.
There we go.
Who cares?
I do. Right?
Listen, as long as I get the name check right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all that matters to me.
Throw the names out there. That's what matters the most.
Deserve it for all the hard work.
There's so many people out there that come together to make this happen, right? So many people who don't get their flowers. They don't get that recognition live on the broadcast. You know, you see our mugs on the screen and the desk as well. But there's a lot of people who have to come together to make this a reality.
We are eternally grateful for all of that.
Indeed. Bit of a tech issue here.
Worst time for it as well. 12-6 behind. So frustrating.
For who?
You just cut. Well, I feel like for Aurora, because you want it said and done, and for Complexity too, because you want it said and done.
Yeah,
you kind of want to focus on the next map at this point.
Both teams would be keen to just get back into the swing of things. I mean, if there was maybe a few more rounds left in this game, Complexity wouldn't mind the break here, just to try and bring Aurora back down to earth, you know, try and taper off some of that momentum, but should be job done here for Aurora. Great display coming through from them, a very good response as well. And it's been a big test of their mental fortitude after losing on Anubis in the way that they did. But they've come back firing here on their pick, and they're on the brink.
Kenzie, we mentioned his slow start on T side, but again, fragging well on CT, owning outside. JT will find a really tasty trade, but utility so limited. 2 flashes and 1 smoke for Cole. And Deco is in position, but will miss the first flick. Needs to get away somehow. With the Molotov recovered, he can block them off.
Yeah, T-side molly as well, I think, was thrown there for him, so a few extra seconds, slightly bigger radius, means he's able to keep himself alive, and he's gotten some support in tow here as well. Job to be done between himself and Lackey. Floppy on the lurk, though, has found himself a kill. Not really going to be affecting the round at large, but does at least give Cole a few more options to work with here.
Yeah, and Lackey, of course, so low, 3 HP. He may be in a good position still if they do decide to go toward B to find a 1-for-1, but he's going to take the initiative and try and put himself into a better position.
This is really smart from Complexity. I love that they've just paused. So much time to play with. Numerical advantage as well. They've just slowed things down. They forced Aurora to readjust the setup. Aurora have no idea what's going on. And Complexity will capitalize on the moving parts, but hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm very nervous. Rest also okay. JT will calm my nerves. And I thought for a moment they're rotating up to the one bomb site that has 2 players, but it does work out the way that Complexity would have hoped.
Nerves settle slightly, but it's still a long way back for Complexity. I have a feeling whenever Result is holding an angle that he could be about to multi-frag. Aurora do love their multi-frags. That's just the individual talent we see from everyone across the server.
Yeah, you could pick any one of them and they'd be able to put up a massive highlight, no problem at all.
Remember it from Norvi and Kenzie on their time on 4s way back in 2022.
Even when they joined this Aurora roster, man, they were just tearing the TFT scene apart.
Yeah.
Limb from limb. Result been doing it a lot lately. Deco's done it here at this very event, and Lackey certainly had his moments in the sun as well. All right, well, Complexity, first of 6 required in a row here to get this into overtime.
But not as many gun rounds as that, of course.
Yeah, true. They win this one, they break that CT side economy. Aurora only have 1 counter round loss bonus behind them. But it's still going to be so difficult, especially on the T side of Nuke, man.
This would be one of the comebacks, that's for sure. Deco keeping a very close eye on Silo, and he's going to move himself into credit card. Angle spotted, JT taken. Another beautiful shot from Deco, 22 in the map now. Bullzuck trying to answer back, flash in to move forward and take control toward outside red. Elise is trying to do the same though. Kenzie, he knows he's close on blue box, but Kenzie's trying to use all of his utility to keep him at bay, and Elise can't find him. It's falling apart for Complexity. It's all Hulzuk, and they know exactly where he is. Stuck in secret. 30 seconds left in the round. He might have utility, and he might have the bomb on his back, but Aurora, they're not giving him anything here.
Well, they've given him a B-bomb site here, Trav, but he's just taking too long to try and get in towards that site, and so Aurora will be able to rotate a player down. Norvi now on the scene. The door's being closed in on Hulzuk by Lackey as well, and there is no way he can make this one work. It's going to require God's gift itself, some sort of a miracle. A rabbit from the hat won't even be enough, and Norvi finishes off the job. Aurora pick up the map win 13-7. They level up the semi-final 1 apiece. We need a decider. It's going to require Inferno to separate these 2 teams and see who will go to that final later on today.
Would we have it any other way? A brilliant decider on our hands on Inferno. Complexity, drop Nuke, and Aurora indeed. It all comes down to this, and it's huge for either Complexity or Aurora. Aurora have that Pro League spot on the line, of course. They've tried so hard to get it. They failed by losing to MIBR in Melbourne. They failed in Challenger League. They failed in the closed qualifier after ECL. This is their last opportunity, and they need to deliver. Norvi, great start. Grim can't do anything from the top of first orange, and there's still utility for Aurora to use. The bomb is actually going to be going toward the A site instead. Norvi will get another one toward B, and actually, they're just running over everyone on Complexity right now. Despite it being an attack on both sites, they're successful on both.
Yeah, the plan there from Complexity is a nice one. I like the way that they play it. I mean, most teams would stack up 4 players on the A bomb side and the pistol round on the CT side and leave 1 towards B with that smoke grenade. As soon as you see presence, you drop the smoke. JT's hoping that they don't respect the smoke grenade. They go through it, and then they run into 3 players on that B bomb site, but it's just a fake on that side of the map from Aurora. So much damage done by that faker as well. They blow the door wide open on A, and Aurora have no trouble opening up here on Inferno.
Great start. Don't get me wrong, Aurora have had some weird results on Inferno as of late. That loss to Sinners in the Pro League qual. Lost to Mouse and XT in a CCT game as well. Mouse and XT, of course, are pretty solid, but still. But Complexity, they've been a little bit all over the place on this map too. Lots of damage early on in Banana, and Grim and JT can't get anything done. This force buy was already being stopped despite the nade damage on Kenzie and Lackey. And yeah, Complexity, last 2 Infernos they've played against Fury and Fnatic, and we know that they're not exactly S tier or maybe even A+ tier just yet in terms of their current form. And they lost both of those, 13-9, 13-3, in that poor performance at Compass. And that was only 10 days ago, so I do worry for Cole slightly in this map.
Yeah, JT and Grim are going to have their work cut out for them on the CT side as well, because they're the two B bomb side players, and you know Aurora are going to be contesting Banana pretty much every single round. They've got ridiculously talented aimers as well, so it's going to be really tough to try go toe-to-toe with them. Going to have to require a lot of finesse, some very good utility usage, and good timing on the peaks as well to try and give themselves an edge towards that part of the map.
Good cleanup from Aurora in this round. That 5-7 could have easily found a second kill and suddenly things could get out of hand. But the 4 spy has been stopped. Only the Scout and UMP remain. We speak about the UMP a lot when we see Elish pick it up, of course, because he mentioned in that interview recently. He actually very often prefers it over the MP9. He's going to work around, prefers the UMP.
Yeah.
Easy spray pattern than the MP9, but if he's going for a rush, then he prefers that MP9 for sure.
He also plays the A bomb site on this map, so it makes sense in a slightly longer range gun fight. UMP can lend itself to those. When you're up close though, MP9 does find more success. Unfortunately for Elish, he won't be able to pick up a gun, loses his life out, and Aurora have opened up here in this third and final map exactly the way that they would have hoped. Gonna have to be an eco round now for Complexity. One map between these two teams in the grand final. Of course, we've got another semi coming up after this. It's going to be Ents versus Falcons. Some juicy storylines there. Glaive playing against his former teammates and coach in Magisk, Dupree, and Sonic. And we've got a couple former Ents lads playing against their Orgazol, their previous organization.
Super exciting second semi-final. We've got to find our first finalist first, though. Optif GG. 8-2 against Hulzerk. And all 4 of the AWP duels. Definitely a good sign for Aurora when you've got the likes of Wrestle and Kenzie grinning away. They mentioned there's a lot of screaming in the server sometimes, in the comms. If they can bottle that hype, bottle that feeling. This is why we've said this team have the ability to win events like this.
Let's see if Complexity can find a way to inflict some damage here. They've got themselves a Scout and upgraded pistols on a few players as well. Just about trying to keep that T-side economy within reach. If Aurora head into that first full gun round with plenty money to work with, then we might see something aggressive, and Floppy, he'll find an opening kill with the Zeus. Love that. Good catch from the Observer. And there is a first frag found. Trav, we are hearing the classic Zeus effects coming through from him. Does it best, doesn't he?
Zeus isn't even really that good anymore. Of course, it was super prevalent a few months ago. Saw Rops using it on Nuke near Hut nearly every single round, maybe even pistol rounds on when he had a low buy, every single low buy. Even pistol rounds, he was finding ways to get entries with it. They nerfed the cone of it slightly, and it made it a lot less effective. But Floppy's found a way. And of course, that's a free AK as well.
I really like this from Complexity. After Floppy gets that kill, Elish shows his hand in middle as well. Looks like it's going to be enough to corral Aurora in towards that B bomb site, but Complexity are second-guessing themselves on the setup. I think in this situation, you just go for the gamble. You just roll the dice and you commit to the stack. Unfortunately for them, although maybe fortunately for them, it looks like Aurora themselves have actually second-guessed the decision.
Oh no.
And they'll be moving their way in towards this A bomb site. This is where Complexity have the numbers right now. JT, unfortunately, not able to get much done from his position. Elish will be called into action. He has to find a multi. Floppy in position as well with the AK, pinging contact off of one another. They've been able to find a kill between them. Elish goes undetected. Grim results in the situation as well. He's able to affect the defense, and Complexity have been able to win the eco.
Oh my word. The crossfire was just way too good there for Complexity. Player sight, Elish staying alive behind the truck. And it felt like he could do that to his heart's content in that round. Grim coming to help out. Super well played. And Complexity, a bit like how Aurora did, it's fair to say, on Nuke. Win the unlikely round first.
Yeah, I thought that Complexity had made a mistake rotating from the initial stack, but they were just ahead of Aurora. They knew what Aurora was going to do before even Aurora knew what they were going to do. And this is the gunfight I was referring to a couple rounds back that certainly will determine whether Complexity are able to piece together a successful half or not. JT and Grim combine to find a successful start to the round here. 2-for-1 trade, damage done to Deco as well.
Yeah, down to 17 HP with that scout now. It'll be very hard to get that into play on the T side. Complexity just keeping them at bay with util. And while Aurora have that util of their own, how do you even get an entry and get their way back in? B might be the only option. Lige is rotating in just to make doubly sure this is safe. But if Lackey just takes a straight up headshot here, oh, well played JT. That's most of the threat removed now. Lige will be in position. JT will make sure he continues to have some impact. And Deco, well, nothing you can do about that one. We're back even again.
Yeah, good rotation from Lige there to join up with his captain and help stack up the defense on that B bomb site. And that is enough for Complexity to level up the scoreline off the back of the Eco round win. And now Aurora will have to settle for an Eco. So things have gone a bit pear-shaped here for them, unexpectedly so, considering the position we expected them to be in.
Good anchor work from JT. Always can get a bit out of hand on Inferno sometimes when one rifle can find an entry. Also difficult to retake. Lige could be on for quite a few kills here.
Yeah, all of them.
Eco, there we are. All the Glocks get munched up by Lige and a big grin, deservedly so. That is some stat padding.
We know what a confidence-based player Lige is, so for him to find the impact that he has at the start of the decider could bode so well for Complexity, just to make sure he's feeling good, he's feeling comfortable. They need him at his peak right now, and he started off very well here on this third and final map.
It's only Glocks, but he made it look good.
Yeah. Listen, in today's day and age, man, anti-eco kills aren't as simple as they used to be to find. So finding that ace, keeping all 5 players alive will bode really well for their economy. And if Complexity keep up the streak coming into this gun round as well, then Aurora will start to feel the pressure.
Norvi tries to right-click a smoke in front of him there to get some positioning toward the left, but it's going to be blown open by JT again. And that banana hold you've been speaking about is so solid right now.
Yeah, they're taking the fight to Aurora. They're not playing timidly. They're not just trying to play from the bomb site itself. Good util usage, great kills coming through. Aurora going to be shell-shocked, and they have no option but to try and explore that opposite side of the map.
Deco will now creep forward with Kenzie. Result waiting on short with him. Kenzie in the apartment's looking to pounce, but there's a crossfire that Complexity have is way too strong, and that is solid work from Floppy. Dancing between default and Complexity feel comfortable at the moment, even though the score's not that wide yet. Just the way they're defending these sites looks composed.
Yeah, solid as a rock coming through from them. They haven't dropped a single player in the past 2 rounds, so that will certainly be a big boost to their economy. Semi-final delivering, Complexity 4 in a row. Let's remember, both teams won their map picks comfortably, and whenever one of the teams was able to find momentum on the map, they weren't able to be stopped. So this could be a game of momentum, and Complexity, they're the ones with the wind in their sails right now.
And in those last 2 maps, there's often been a round that has instigated that momentum, whether it's a win on a Tech-9 buy, whether it's a rush that catches a CT side off guard in a situation where they felt like they were comfortable.
A big clutch, maybe.
A big clutch. We've already seen the JT defusing a smoke, of course, on Anubis at the end of the half. And this time Aurora are trying desperately to get ahead of that banana utility, but they just can't. JT is keeping them at bay time and time again. Even with the HE, he gets a second there.
Smart from Grim to fall back as well. He can allow for his teammates making their way down middle to close the door in on the opponent. Floppy will just kind of try and make his way through, but that boost catches him out. Aurora just looking for damage right now. They've barely got any health between these 2 players left alive, and they're going to burst through the smoke together and trade their way forward. This is not impossible for Result, you know. He's picked up the bomb, and he's going to guarantee himself a plant here as well. He knows that both of these players are on the flank. Complexity don't want to respect the molly. They smoke it out, but Result's been able to get his way back to quad. He can get this done, you know, with the AK, but no, Lige denies. Bosses him in the 1v1. He's 12-2 right now. And Complexity are loud and proud. Both players teabagging, spraying the corpse. They want to send a message, Trav.
They want to get in the minds of their opponents.
Woo!
Get all those AK bullets gone. You don't need them. You get refreshed in the next round anyway. You don't have to buy you ammo anymore.
Nothing subtle about that, mate.
Not in the slightest.
Nothing subtle about that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Ressalt's grinning about it.
I miss the days we could see chat, Trav.
I know. It's a bit risque,
I know,
say.
but I do miss it from a spectator's point of view.
What a round.
Question is, what gets changed up now? Do JT and Grim keep up trying to fight Banana every single round? Because that could become predicted, could become telegraphed, right?
Yeah, but right now, I feel like when you've got that sort of utility, they've won those holds, whether it's been a late take from Aurora or an early take, an early rush. Sure, a couple of those early rushes were with just pistols. But right now for Complexity, I'd say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And look, they're doing it again. Look at the minimap.
Yeah, they've actually rotated an extra player in towards Banana. Holzerk and Floppy take space in apartments. Complexity ruling the roost on the CT side of Inferno. Aurora just finding opening kills so difficult to come by right now. And it's a numerical deficiency again, but they might have found a chink in the armor. Looks like they're going to be coming through from apartments. No one from Complexity considering this. No one even giving this a gander. It's going to be Holzerk with the AWP. AWP turns and burns. Deco has been able to at least make his way out of apps, but I think there was an audio cue, so they're ready for it.
Oh, wow. Elite is going to be surely have the number of Norvi as well. It's down to Deco.
Go on, lad.
But now only 18 HP. He's got his 2 headshots already, but he's going to need 3 more. Have some spare utility to work with. Trying to play headshot angles, knowing he's so low. Judging it near the hay cart. Near the pickup. But Deco needs to find a way to pick up the bomb as well, and that's not going to be happening for him, I don't think.
He is guilty sometimes of taking too much time in a clutch to try and find a kill before he commits to maybe the objective, in this case, finding the plant. Not a lot of time to play with, not a lot of health. He wants to create some space for himself. Nothing being offered up here by Complexity, though. Spots the shadow of Grim. He had support there anyway to swing, and that's very good discipline coming through from Complexity.
I don't know. Just my feeling on this is I'm feeling that Complexity have been putting a lot of work into their Inferno CT side setups in recent times. Aggression to a banana, absolutely non-stop. Their assertiveness in pushing down mid off of that has already been very good, and changing it up with their apartment setup. Holzerk holding the tight angle, with Floppy holding the apartments jump up. Instant 2 kills from those two, and they'll manage to react as well to that late play through the apartments. Lackey with that Tech 9 somehow finds Grim, but JT was always going to be there. They do get the 2 kills off of B, but Complexity still have the advantage, and Deco needs to pick up that bomb quickly.
I mean, this is an eco round essentially for Aurora, so the fact that they've been able to get themselves control of the B bomb site is a pretty good position that they find themselves in right now. Oh, smoke not respected by Complexity. That was really brave.
Yeah, Kenzie throwing that really deep smoke, trying to lock them at bay early while they wait for Deco to get into position. I am surprised Complexity didn't respect that. But I guess they wanted more intel. They have a man advantage, going to try and use it. But this time Deco, he's full health in a 1v2. Holzerk is going to be staring at the angle from Library. Can Deco get across it and get a plant down and make this very difficult for Complexity?
Oh no, he bypassed Holzerk by going through apartments, but then he goes back into the angle to cross onto the bomb site. He's been legged here by Holzerk as well. Elige desperately rotating across to join up with his Norwegian AWP, honorary North American. Deco has been able to activate the bomb though and make his way back into mini pit. AK in play. If he could find that instant tap on the headshot, that would certainly give him a good chance. Elige has the info relayed through to him, and he will finish off the job. Yeah,
honestly, I think Deco did everything he could there. The only thing I do disagree with, as you mentioned, is pathing back in toward the Library angle again. Obviously, he was not to know. We have the X-ray, he doesn't. But if he commits straight to that default plant, he's full health in that one, and Elige doesn't run him over coming from short. Deco tried to reposition toward Big Pit as well, didn't work for him.
Yeah.
Both portions of Pit, unfortunately, are a pitfall.
I feel like we haven't seen many tactical timeouts here from Aurora in the maps that, well, the map that they lost. I don't remember seeing many on Anubis, and we haven't seen one yet here on Inferno either. They've lost 7 rounds in a row, all born off the back of an anti-eco round loss here for Aurora. And Complexity continues to be dynamic on the CT side, looking to shift the setup. However, finally an opening kill will come through for the T side.
Floppy will go for the AWP, grab it off of his teammate, but Aurora looking to try and keep the pace high. Floppy now tagged down, has to fall away, does avoid the nade, and he's got multiple angles to worry about, but support is here really quickly. They're not going to be focused on Floppy because JT was there. And he'll get one more, but there's Norvi. 2 for Kenzie, 1 for Norvi. The duo showing up again that has done so on so many times in history, and Kenzie will react brilliantly to Elige coming through. Elige is 16-3 in this game, having an absolute banger. And now Grim needs to bang 2 more heads.
Not going to happen. Probably just going to accept his fate here in the round. I mean, he's got a kit, no util. Sure, there's money. I guess there's only 2 more rounds to be played left in the half after this, so you probably just roll the dice here, right? Elige has 13k. Even if you get the kills, that could affect the economic standings later on in the round. So I do think Grim should just feel this one out anyway.
Yeah. Play aggressive exits without a doubt. He'll give it a go, but Deco will find it. And that is an important round for Aurora to finally break that streak. Complexity looks so composed with those assertive, dynamic CT setups. Aurora, thanks to Kenzie with that entry toward mid on Halzerk on the AWP, they find a way.
Halzerk had the line as well. He was ready for the peak to come through, but Kenzie was quicker on the trigger. Floppy had a couple shots there with the AWP, just wasn't able to connect on the very important ones. Thought for a moment he might just lock it down. You can see Kenzie with some good emotion coming through. He's feeling it, man. Trying to spur his team on right now. The aggression will not falter, though. It will not relent coming through from Complexity. JT changes up his position on the map, but it's still the same style.
Goodness me. Halzerk will miss his shot, but he can get away with the incendiary. W key from JT. Incredible aggression, and even Elige in the position in second mid apartments too. Look how much they locked away the map control from Aurora. And after losing the 1 round, to change it up like that straight away is impressive thinking. I respect the choice, that's for sure. I think even if it failed, I would have respected the choice, to be honest, because they're keeping it as dynamic as humanly possible.
They're not giving any room to Aurora either to try and get into these rounds, to settle into the default, to take space and then work into an exec. Constantly having players thrust in their direction. Elige even hunting. He'll find that kill on Lackey. And Norvi, well, he'll find a trade here, but that's the first frag of the round for Aurora. And JT is just calling a brilliant CT side right now.
What did you say about Elige getting that anti-eco ace against the Glocks, building up confidence?
That's what ignited the CT side, man. He's 18-4 right now.
4, baby.
Those are some good numbers, Trav. 4.5 kill-death ratio coming through from him.
Quick maths.
That's it. South African education, baby.
Home education, baby. Halzerk as well. It's only 4 and 3, but I think he's got like 7 assists in this game. He's been tagging everyone with nades toward B, of course.
Yeah.
And with the AWP straight up.
Look at Elige's ADR. Sorry, I know we just highlighted the kills, but he is averaging, all right, now at the end of this one, 133 damage per round at the moment. Fantastic numbers being put up by their star.
And he is just such a bona fide superstar as Elige.
Perhaps the new captain of North America.
Perhaps. And the thing that is incredible about Elige as well, right, is he's just continued to do it for year upon year upon year.
Yeah.
He's one of the best sprayers, the best fraggers in Global Offensive, dating back to the early Liquid days. And who really can you say has equaled that, other than maybe the likes of Nico, Xantares maybe from all that time ago? He's been around forever.
Yeah, Twist as well.
Twist is fair.
Problem is the lack of trophies to show for his incredible level, and they're going to be hoping to turn that around here today. Aurora looking to turn their fate around. Halzerk gets demolished by Norvi, and here he is once again. You call to spray, and he's found 3 kills. Saves the day for Complexity. Fantastic stuff coming through from him. You just can't keep him out of the game.
What on earth, man? Norvi tried his best with a triple, but Elige finishes it off with a quad. 22 and 4, and that is in 1 half, baby.
Ask if we could talk, but then say nothing. Maybe you just had too much to say. 'Cause when you call me up, you just want one thing. And maybe in the end you'll get your way. But I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show ya, I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know. We just need to stop and take a moment to slow things down, work this out. I got your love on top, we're in the moment, and maybe that's what we're about. Tell me what you want me to be, baby. I promise I can be the one you're craving. 'Cause I think that I know what you've been chasing. Girl, I'm sick of waiting. I'll be yours for the taking. But I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show you, I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know you, baby. Yeah, yeah. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show you, I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know, I just wanna show you, I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know.
Complexity are on the brink of getting themselves to the first grand final on land since IEM Sydney. Can they make it happen? It was a fantastic display from them on their CT side. Up 9-3, Trav. 4 more rounds is all they require.
And Aurora's dreams of Pro League could be coming to an end if they don't find this pistol. Hulzerk and Elige will once again team up in mid, and Elige just will not stop. Grim and Floppy help out toward Norvi, and Lackey is left wondering, where is my team?
My brother, this is the Elige Masterclass. 24 kills. 13th round is upon us. The player closest to him is JT, who has 12. He has at least double anyone else on the server right now.
Pure and utter domination for one of the best players North America has ever produced. Lackey trying his best to get a few kills for some bonus cash. There's no time for this defuse, but he's going to give it a go. You may as well. You are 9-3 behind. Tapping away, trying to find a couple of extra dollary dues to add to the bank, but Grim will stop that from being a reality. And Complexity at the moment are absolutely loving life. And this is actually bucking the trend from what we've seen from them on recent Inferno matches.
Yeah, they've managed to turn the tide. Their style worked out very well here, taking that fight to Aurora, offering up no respect at all. They weren't scared of Aurora coming into this third map, despite what had happened on Nuke preceding this. They brought their fire, and they've looked very good.
And Elige is so chill, isn't he? Just chewing his gum, having the time of his life.
Business as usual, baby.
Hell yeah.
This is a force buy from Aurora, but it has not gone the way they would have liked at all, Trav. Looking to try make their way down middle, but it's into the jaws of death.
Mate, we could be looking at a record rating coming in here for Elige. I'm getting the feeling, I'm getting the record breaker shakes right now. I feel like we're seeing something historic.
Yeah, we certainly are, man. This is one of the best performances we've ever seen on land in the third and final map, especially in a big game like this, the semi-final, where there's so much on the line. Now more than double anybody else.
Poor old Deco.
Saying his prayers, but they will not be answered.
And there we go. JT gets his anti-eco kill. And sadly for Aurora, it feels like this dream of finally making it to Pro League is coming to an end. They've been one of the best teams in Tier 2 to watch when it comes to their individual skill.
Yeah.
But they failed in the final of Melbourne. MIBR took that spot and failed in the online portion, of course, ESL Challenger League, and in the closed qualifiers for Pro League. So many opportunities for them, but again, it looks like that final hurdle is just a bit too much.
Yeah, Elige is that hurdle, right? He has 169 ADR right now. And Complexity on the brink. Aurora, they don't want to save. They don't want to try and play for overtime. They're looking to get themselves into the game right here, right now. Another force buy. Completely different look compared to what we saw in that previous round where they were looking to play very aggressive. Stark contrast here, setting themselves up on the bomb sites and waiting for Cole to come their way. All right.
Finally, something not going Elige's way.
Yeah, probably the only way you could kill him right now is through a smoke or a wallbang. No fair fight's going to go your way, that's for sure.
The rest will aggress nicely as well and deal with Floppy. It is a must-win for Spy. Norvi is here. As we know, he's got support as well. He'll dive into first orange and gets his one, actually, to be fair to him. Even though it was a very awkward position for him. Molotov will come through, of course, though, and now the complexity is getting interesting, and Holzerk just takes a heads-up duel towards CT with the nade. Smoke broken open. It's down to a Deagle and MP9 on the banana flank for Aurora, and they obviously do not have a defuse kit. JT is here on the off angle. He's played his angle on CT. It works on T as well, and it's down to Deco. Just 20 points of health. Holzerk, he's not that low, and Holzerk will tap him down to Complexity unstoppable.
Not like this, Aurora. That was a 5 versus 3 where they took down the crown jewel of Elige through the smoke. They then got Floppy, I think, who was on the lurk in apartments. Complexity had no options available to them but going for that exec into the B bomb site. And JT and Holzerk combine. What a way for them to recover that round and get themselves up to map and series point. Semi-final point here for Cole. They're on the brink of securing that spot in the grand final.
Look at the buy that Aurora have. It's going to be pure W to try and recover this situation. But Elige through the smoke stops Aurora again. Grim will find Kenzie as well. And sadly, the Aurora tail in Jönköping is about to come to an end. Holzerk is deleting people left and right. Deco goes down. It's Wrestle and Norvi with 2 FAMASes to try and keep their hopes alive. Elige will move forward. Perfect pre-aim, perfect headshot. And Wrestle is in the most unwinnable situation possible.
The job is as good as done. 1 versus 5. Elige will conclude proceedings, fittingly so. 29 kills in 16 rounds coming through from Elige. An absolute masterclass as Complexity lock themselves a spot into that grand final. What a display. Only dropping 3 rounds on that final map will feel so good. Fully deserved as well. They've worked very hard for this, and they'll be very happy with the return.